interviewed. Even for CEO, you'll be interviewed at length. And therefore, it's important to have this skill so you can actually perform. My background already been introduced, so it's on the screen. You don't need to look at it. But I'm still fellow of senior fellow Manchester Business School, and I'm chairman of the governing council of the University of Gold Coast, and also board director and chairman for a few companies. So why a good interview is crucial. The point I was making. A good interview is essential because it serves as an opportunity for you to showcase your skills, your personality, and how suitable you are for the job. You've sent your CV. Your CV is brilliant. Based on that, they've shortlisted you, among others. Then you sit in front of a panel, 7 members, 6 members, and they want to find out whether you are the one who must have the job or the 4 others. It is often a deciding factor whether you're going to get the job or not. Doesn't matter. You may have first class in 10. It doesn't matter. If you blow it at the interview level, you haven't got a job. So it is very, very important. And I have a few points to share with you. First impressions matter, isn't it? You form an impression of somebody just the first 1 minute you meet them. So first impression, do you look like an executive? When you walk in there, is the panel members looking at each other and say, hey, this is the guy we want? Is that the case? A strong interview sets the positive tone and demonstrates your professionalism, your enthusiasm for the position. That's what we want to know. You won't get that from CV. The CV just said that you've got this experience and you've got this degree and so forth and so on. So this is an opportunity. The interview is an opportunity for you to actually show what you can do and impress people. You showcase your value. It's your chance to highlight your skills, what you can do, and so forth and so on. Impress people. Say, hey, guys, I'm the one for the post. Give it to me. So that is a very important reason. You also want to show that you understand the role you're applying for. It's not because of the money. It's a good job that pays well, so you applied for it. The panel wants to know, and you want to show that you understand the role, you understand the job you're looking for, and you are capable of doing it. So an interview is a good two-way street. It allows you to ask questions, and then it also allows you to show your capabilities to the panel. It demonstrates your soft skills. When you send your CV, CVs don't talk. So there's no way of knowing whether you speak well or whether you are polite or whatever. It's only when you sit in front of them. So the interview allows you to demonstrate your soft skills, how you behave, how you get in, how you greet, your mannerisms, because employers actually evaluate not just your technical competence, but also your communication skills, your problem-solving skills, your interpersonal skills, how you relate to them. It's important because it's going to affect the job. And then what you want to do at this interview is to be able to stand out from the competition. There are 3, 4, 5 other guys with similar CVs or even better. You want to stand out and say, look, you've got all these people, but I'm the one you need to employ. So when you have multiple candidates vying for the same position, a strong interview performance can set you apart. And approaching an interview with preparation is the best way actually to do it. Interviews are nerve-wracking. Anybody who sat in front of a panel, you panic. In fact, the day before, you even hardly sleep. You panic, you are nervous. It's very natural. Don't worry if you're nervous. Everybody tends to be nervous, even CEOs, because you don't know the questions they're going to ask and you don't know whether they're going to grill you or whatever. So people tend to be nervous. And research indicates that 92% of US adults report being nervous about a job interview. 92%. And this is research. So if you are nervous, you are not the only one, just that you need to compose yourself. But the good news is that you can prepare yourself well by reviewing some of the most important common job interview questions and practicing your answers. Once you are prepared well, it gives you a peace of mind. It says that even if it's going to be daunting, you'll be able to do it. So I'll put together 14 commonly asked interview questions, which I will share with you so that next time you're going to go for interview, you can use these, in preparation. A good preparation gives you confidence. tells you that, look, everybody gets nervous, but I'm ready. It's like a good chief executive. He's never afraid of change. If the change comes, you are ready. You will actually be the change and face the change and deliver. No problem. Every chief executive is ready to meet the challenges of the future. The future doesn't remain the same. There's going to be challenges. And if you've got a change-ready mindset, change doesn't scare you. So if you prepare well, you've been to this session, you keep the slides and you go through them, you'll be very much prepared. And that will give you the confidence to actually go and perform. So let's start. Usually, tell me about yourself. The interview panel will say, tell us about yourself. And this is usually an opening icebreaker. They know that you are nervous and they want a conversation to start that will bring your nervousness down. They want to let you feel at ease, let you feel at home with them. So tell us about yourself. My name is David Ddouglas and XYZ. And they give you the opportunity to wrap around yourself. It's just that has to be honest and has to be professional. So you highlight your past accomplishments, your strength, your previous experience, whilst mapping out also some of the specific qualifications in the job description. So you have to make sure that when you are talking about qualifications, you're linking them to the job so that they can see that the qualifications are relevant. You have to be professional, your answers, of course, but also show some personality, show some niceties, be nice. Beyond your experience and skills, interviewers also want to see that you're a good, well-rounded person. So that is the first one. Tell me about yourself. And this is the way you handle it. Second, what do you know about our company? Do you know, and I've sat on boards and I've sat on interview panels, that some people apply for a job in a company. And when you ask them, what do you know about the company you are applying for a job in? And they don't know. Oh, I saw the advert, Luton Engineering Services. They're looking for an engineer. And I'm an experienced engineer, so I apply. Is that all you know about the company you are trying to get into to work? That alone disqualifies you completely. Because if you are very much interested in working for this company, you would have done some research about the company, what it does, where it operates, how big it is, so that you know the house you are going in. But all you know is that Luton Engineering Services, engineering company, they're looking for engineer. That's why you apply. You are out. So they will ask you, what do you know about our company, the company you are, wishing to work for? And here, you don't just focus on the facts. You have to do some research to discover what sets the company apart from their competition. For example, it's an engineering company, and what makes it attractive to me is that they are the top in the league, or they are very keen on research. Say something. Then they know that we've done some research about the company, which shows that you are interested in the company. You are keen on the company. All right? Any recent news coverage, for example, it was in the graphic, it was in this, that you did this and that, and so forth and so on. Then use that information to show them that you are interested. You are engaged with them. You understand what the company is all about, and that's why you want to be part of them. I want to be part of you because this company, your company, does X, Y, Z, and it's in the news and very flamboyant. They do this, they do that. It's an international, and it's the kind of environment I want to operate in. These people are wild. Wow, this guy knows about us, isn't it? Really, he knows. And it indicates that he's very keen on working with us. So that's important. What do you know about our company? 3, you want to work for our company. Why? You know about the company, all right. Why do you want to work for our company? Oh, yes, I am an engineer and I'm looking for a job, or I want to change jobs, and I saw your advert, so I decided to apply to come and work for you. Oh, because you want to come in because you saw an advert. Not because you're interested in the company, not because you've seen something about a company that attracts you, but there's an advert. The company advertised for engineers, so that's why you are here. Gee, you've blown it. You've got to convince these people that there's a strong desire in you to work for them, particularly. Guys, I want to work for you, because interviewers want to know what's driving your interest. in the position? Are you interested in gaining experience, pursuing opportunities, or just interested in collecting a paycheck? Because the advert actually gave salary bigger than what you are currently on. Is that the reason? You've got to talk about aspects of the company or position that really appeals to you, such as an employee training program, such as the research they're doing, such as new, openings, something that actually indicates that you are interested in working for them, because the area you want to work is something that also interests you. You have to connect those aspects of your experience to that. I'm very keen on research in management. And I've noticed and read that that's an area that this company does very well. And it suits me because I'm also interested in that area. So you talk about the position, why it appeals to you, and why you think you are the best for that position. Your response could be like, your employee training program is very, very progressive. And as an engineer, I want to grow. I want to grow with my company. And your training programs, your development, staff development is first class. And that's very attractive. So I work very hard. I learn a lot because you develop people to become experts in their field and so on and so forth. In other words, you give wonderful reasons why. A lot of people don't even know that such a question will be asked. So when they ask them, they are lost. Then they go around, trying to give answers. With the panel members, they start laughing. They start smiling because they know that, you are just trying to say something. But if you know this in advance, you are prepared. Very, very important. Right. Making a job change. You are already employed and you apply to come and join our company. Why are you interested in making a job change? We know from your CV and from, the letter you brought application that you're already employed by company A. So why are you trying to come to our company B? What's the reason behind it? Changing the job. All right? We want to find out, are you the kind of person who moves from company to company? As soon as you see, some greener pastures somewhere, you jump. Companies want people who are stable, who are reliable. They don't get you in and spend time to get you to be on top of the job 2 years, then you're off. Then they need somebody else to bring in and train also and so forth and so on. So honesty is the best policy here. Avoid any disparaging marks about the previous or the company I work with now is a lousy company, this and that and that. You want to destroy them in order to get this new company's job. They know that if you can destroy company A, chances are in the future, you also destroy them when you are going for company C. So honesty is important here. Some great responses could be, I want an opportunity where I could learn new things and grow my career. I've been in that company for 5 years. I've learned a lot. It's a very good company. I enjoy the job, but I want to grow in this and that and that. That's why I'm looking for another opportunity. That's honest. I want an opportunity where I can learn new things, new opportunities, new challenges. That will be fine. I'm looking for something more challenging where I could perfect and develop my skills. A few months ago, I saw this and I saw that, and I thought, this is the company that I can get these skills in. This company has just invested in this area, new area, and I want to develop my skills in that area. That's why I'm moving. Don't disparage the current company, previous company, in order to try to get this one. But be honest and have good reasons why you want to change. Companies don't like people who come in 2-3 years, then they jump off, go to another place 2-3 years. They want stability and they want people they can rely on, especially since it takes time to get you to get used to the job. It takes time to actually train you on the job, to get you very productive. Then as soon as you are productive, you are off again. So making the change. 5, your strengths and weaknesses. What are your greatest strengths and weaknesses? They always ask that. And then you talk about your strengths. In my class, I was the best. In engineering, I got this award and I did this and that and that. Okay, so you talk about the positive. One say, what's your greatest weakness? what weakness do you have that you can talk about? And you think, if I talk about any weakness, I won't get a job. You have to say something. If there is something that's a weakness, say, I know that my strengths are ABC, but X is where I struggle a bit, and I've been working on it. And when I join the company, that's one area that I'll work on it in order to also become a strength. In that case, you are being honest. You get me? You are being honest. But to say that you don't have any weakness, there's no human being who hasn't got weaknesses. They want to see your honesty. They want to see your honesty. But you want to give the impression that strength, you've got all of them, but weakness you haven't got. You've got to connect the strength also to the skills and the qualification outlined in the job description. You know, the job spec that they gave to you and the qualification, you want to make sure that, you know, your strength fit. The job description talks about, you know, research and development, and that's my area. That's my area of interest. So it will fit very well. When it comes to weaknesses, look for ways to turn them into strength. For example, if you believe that your lack of experience, a lot of the time say you've got only a few years of experience, that's a weakness. But you can turn that into a positive. You know, be honest about it and say, yes, I'm weak on that front, and I'm going to work very, very hard to actually improve on that. People want that. They themselves are not perfect. The interview panel members are not perfect. They want somebody who says, I know. The guy I interviewed for managing director for my company, for example, his communication skills are weak. He admitted that and said, I'm going to polish that. And we were very happy with that. No? So do not give any impression that you don't have any weaknesses. Say one or two and talk about how you're going to improve on that. Testing your honesty. Tell me about the time when you made a mistake and share the steps you took to remedy it. Can you describe to us some mistake you made either in the previous companies or where, and how you actually remedied that mistake? Just tell us about one. The guy who made L'Oreal the biggest beauty products company in the world, Lisa Wayne-Jones, talked about a policy in L'Oreal. In L'Oreal, you've got the right to make a mistake. When you make a mistake, you are not fired, because they know that you can learn as much from the mistakes as from the successes. He himself was posted as the country manager for Italy. He blew it, but he wasn't fired. Eventually became CEO of the company, and the best CEO they've ever had. You know, so you made a mistake. There must be some mistake you made. They want to know. But the important thing is that you tell them how you remedied it. If you make a mistake, you put it under the carpet, then they are afraid of you that when you come here and something goes wrong, you will not even let us know. But this is the way I did it. Interviewers understand. They want to understand how you handle personal failure and how you move forward and overcome it. It is as important as your problem-solving skills. The ability to determine that you've got it wrong and quickly turn it around. So choose a time when you were able to successfully correct a mistake, and using the many skills you have, how you actually resolve it. So then they get the impression that this guy comes in, he gets something wrong, he can turn it around quickly, and it will not be a detriment to the company. Right, dealing with a challenge. Tell me about a conflict or challenge that you face at work and how you overcame it. We all face challenges. At some point, we all have to work through some uncomfortable and challenging situations in the workplace. Share a story about a time when you were able to successfully solve a disagreement with a co-worker, for example. How did you do it? How did the challenge come about? For example, taking on a new role and not having the kind of collaboration that you thought you should have. Because when you are new, people try to test you, they try to see, bring you down, so forth and so on. So there can be challenges. Pick one, some example that you faced was a difficulty and how you overcame it. Let me give you an illustration. When I was lecturer in Federal Polytechnic Ilaro in Nigeria, my promotion was delayed. And for some reason. I think it was some sort of maybe Ghanaian Nigerian thing, because I was the only Ghanaian among the people promoted and mine was delayed and so on and so on. You know what I did? I eventually went to see the registrar at home. And I had referred to the registrar as my godfather. And I went and said, Godfather, what do I do about this challenge I'm facing? My promotion has been delayed. I don't know why. And I haven't come to you as registrar. I've come to you as godfather. Can you imagine? And having described him as godfather, he was, in quotes, forced to look at it again. So there will be some challenge everybody will face. How you handle it is important. And they want you to give an example. So pick one, and this is why preparation is important. Because if you've gone through this session we are doing, then you'll be prepared for all these things, you see. Very, very important. Right. Ability to work under pressure. All right. This is a period in the 21st century where we are running around like headless chickens. Everything is under pressure. We want the result yesterday. We bring a problem today, and yet we want the result yesterday. So we want to see that you will not crack under pressure. So how well do you do under pressure? That's the question. He asks you, how well do you do when you are under pressure? Deadlines are tight and you need to do things, So regardless of the job, there will come a time when you are faced with a high pressure situation. It always happens. Tell interviewers about the time you faced a tight deadline, for example, or a major change that require you to remain poised and productive, and how you went through it. If you go to an interview without a preparation like this, they ask you this question, you will fumble. Then you will try to make up answers, and they know that you are just making up something. But if you've gone through this session, the slides, you have them, and you've practiced. They ask the question, you'll be smiling because you know the answer you are going to give. Ability to work under pressure. Your future plans. They want to know if you are going to be stable. You are not a rolling stone. You get in, maybe you want to use that as a stepping board. You've got some plans to go maybe to US or some place. So you just want the job 1 year, so 1 year to get some money and push off. So they will ask you, what's your future plan? To see if you give any idea that you are going to be stable and therefore you can be trusted to be reliable. Use this question to showcase your aspiration for career growth in the company. Not you are going to use them as a stepping stone for something else. Career growth, whilst reinforcing that you are ready to give your all to the job at hand. I want to grow this company. I want to be one of the best in my area, grow with the company as the company grows, whilst learning to do my job very well. So while studying and, part-time jobs here and there, part-time study to improve myself, I will make sure that time allocation for the job is what I'm paid for. In other words, I'm not going to shortchange the company. I will do the best for the company whilst also pursuing personal growth. Consider outlining a growth strategy that begins with the role you are being interviewed for and lead to another position in the company that, in the future, you may even want to develop to go into the HR area or to go into this area and so forth and so on. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? They want to test your stability. So if you are not careful and say, well, in 5 years, I'm not sure what is going to happen, you are telling them that you are a rolling stone. Very, very important. Reliability and punctuality. Yeah. Are you reliable? Can we rely on you to do things? And punctuality, when they say the meeting is 8, will you be there at 8 or 10? In Ghana and Nigeria and elsewhere, we joke with time. But, when you go to China and so on, if it's 8 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock. Even here in the UK, can't joke with time. So how would you rate your attendance at your previous positions? When you were in your previous jobs, how do you rate your attendance? Were you always on time? 50% of the time? All the time? They want to have an idea of your behavior. You are reliable. We give you something to do, deadline, you will meet it. If you don't meet it, you will come and explain why you don't meet it. We can trust you. We can rely on you for a result. Can we? Yes, you can rely on me. And your attendance. Interviewers want to make sure you are reliable. Your attendance, they can trust. So you talk to them about your attendance in the past. And don't get defensive. Don't get defensive. Just be plain and talk about, whatever you need to say to give them the impression that you are reliable, you'll be punctual. You come in for a job. You're going to work. You're going to be paid. And you want to give commensurate with the job and the pay that you are given. It's a give and take. It's a give and take. I want to justify my pay. I work hard. You can talk about proactive approach to scheduling planned absences, for example. If you need to be absent, you can schedule it. You can agree, to make up for the time and so forth and so on. They simply want, some idea about whether or not they can trust you. Ideal work environment. What is your ideal work environment? This is another question that helps interviewers to determine whether you are a good fit for both the company culture and the job requirements. You must fit the job and you must also fit the company culture. Every company has got a culture. Culture is simply the way we do things around here, and it varies from company to company. So your previous company culture may be very different from the new one, but they want to see if you can, change your skills to meet the new one, because you can't actually come to the new company with the old culture. It won't fit. And there will be a lot of disengagement and problems. Be honest about how you work best. Your previous company may have flexi time. New company you are going to work with may not have flexi time. They may have 9 to 5 for everybody. So how are you going to fit that culture? Give details of management style you prefer or type of environment that can help you to be most productive. Is it an enclosed office or open space office? What sort of environment do you work better in? Tell them. Be honest about it. Say, if you've got this XYZ environment, I'll be very happy with it. But if you haven't got, I'm very flexible. I'll be able to, tune myself, adapt myself to suit the new environment and hit the ground running without much time and difficulty. Environment. Hiring you. Why should we hire you? Give us reasons why there are 5 other guys why we should appoint you. In other words, you are actually hiring yourself, isn't it? You are telling these guys that, look, I'm the best. I'm the best for the job. I'm the one keenest to do it. I am ready to give my best shot. Hire me. And I will prove to you that you've actually hired the right person. This is your opportunity to really make yourself stand out from the others. So use your company background, the experiences you've got over the years, the job description details, and your skills, experience, personality to match the job. Fit it to the job. The job requires X, Y, Z. You have the job description, job requirements. Carve, even when you are doing your CV, you carve it in such a way, you craft it in such a way that they face the job. And that's what you have to be here. You have to do here. Be specific and unique. This job is my job. I am all set for it. I'm qualified for it. I'm keen, and so forth and so on. And by using your experience and knowledge, you can actually convince them that they should hire you. Your salary and package. They usually ask you, what do you expect in terms of salary or package? Meanwhile, they may know your salary from the previous job or the job you're currently on. Sometimes they call them to ask. Sometimes they find out by some strange way, some strange method. So they ask you, you work for company A, and now you are coming to us to work for us, company B. What salary do you expect? What is your desired range? The fact that we shortlisted you indicates that you are good enough. You are appointable, no doubt about it. Otherwise, we wouldn't even bother. You are here because we find you appointable. Should we appoint you, what sort of salary will you be looking for? And as I put here, many job seekers are unprepared for this question or find it uncomfortable answering it for fear of either going too high or too low. All right? Say, well, I expect £80,000 per year, and they're afraid that maybe £80,000 is too high for the job, so they'll say, okay, thank you, but they won't appoint you because they think 80,000 is too high. Or if you say 40,000, you may be cutting yourself too low also, because they may be prepared to even award 70, but you are putting yourself at 40. So it's a very difficult question, and most people are not comfortable with it. So what you have to do is research the job you are going for. Learn what is the going market rate. What is the going market rate for such a position? In Ghana, about 4 years ago, we wanted to appoint a managing director for our Ghana subsidiary. We actually hired a recruitment company, and they researched the market and came out with the advice, or if you like, recommendation that post commanded about 45,000 cedis per month salary. All right? They actually did research, size of the company, the number of workers, and they were able to look at others and say the average for this size of company is so much. So they told us. So you also do some research so that you don't cut yourself too low or price yourself also out of the market. Have an idea of what you think this job position should pay, and then tell them. There are many websites where you can actually go and find out the salary ranges for certain jobs based on experiences and skills and so on. So do some research. Don't just walk into interview room without doing all these things. Then they say, what salary are you looking for? Maybe in company A, you're working, salary is 50. So you are going to this new company B, it's okay, since I'm on 50, give me 60. Meanwhile, they'll be prepared to pay you 70 or even 80. So do some research on that, your salary packet. And last point, they ask you always, do you have any questions for us? Are there anything that you want to know from us? They always ask that question. So be prepared for that also. What questions do you have for us? This not only gives you the opportunity to learn more about the position and the company, but it also gives you the ability to promote your skill and desire to be part of the team. It gives you to buttress the point that this job is actually for you. You'll be very good at the job. So you can ask questions. Any questions? No, you've dealt with the package, and then perks, maybe accommodation or whatever. That's slide number 13. We look at that. When you say salary, I'm talking of package, salary price, whatever, fringe benefit. Here, you are actually asking them questions. And what questions are you going to ask them? You can ask questions that will enable you to learn more about the company and what they do and their policies. And then you can use that to say, yeah, if this is what you do, then I'm very, very happy to be part of it. Because that's what I also want to do. So compile a few questions when you are doing your company research. Some questions you may want to ask, as well as some potential follow-up responses and so forth and so on. Question like, what would a typical day look like for me when I start a job? A typical day in your company, what does it look like? So put it on them, let them tell you what a typical day is. They must also answer your question. It's a give and take. And at the end, when you've asked all your questions, you can thank them and they say, thank you for your time, and you hear from us And then you can thank them and tell them what a wonderful opportunity it has been for you to have time with them. You've learned a lot about the company, and you look forward to hearing from them favorably, and then go away. Right. Some tips for job interviews, just to finish. Here are some practical tips to help you ace a job interview and leave a lasting impression on the interview panel. Prepare thoroughly, as I've just shown. Dress appropriately, not like a prince, but decent. Decent. You want to show that you are professional. And that's why, when I see people coming for interviews with some hairdo and some Olympic rings and some T-shirt and jeans, I cry. Because, somebody said to me, but it's not my jeans or my T-shirt that's going to do the job. It's my brain. But for goodness sake, every employer wants, workers decently dressed. People who come there, they want to see that your employees are decently dressed. But some of the time, the T-shirt with holes in it, you go for interview in that. What impression are you giving to them? Said, my dressing doesn't matter. It's my brain. Oh, your dressing does matter because you are the face of the company. Every time I travel around, when I go to Ghana, all sorts of places, and as my CV shows, I've been teaching in more than 26 countries on 5 continents. Everywhere I go, I'm the front of Manchester Business School. I'm the front of it. When I'm introduced, PK Richardson, Manchester Business School, they want to see Manchester Business School professor, official. So dress is important. Arrive early so you can relax, because we said this, nerve-wracking. You can relax. Not walk in 5 minutes before the time you are panting. So when they call you into the room, you are panting. No. It only shows that you are not self-managed well. You are not very well self-managed. Master your body language. They look at the gesticulation, the way you use your hands, so forth and so on. Be clear and concise. Clarity is important. Take your time and speak clearly. And if you are asked to ask questions, ask insightful questions. Somebody will say, these questions are thought-provoking, This guy means business. And show enthusiasm. Show that you are very keen for this job and you can't wait to get an answer from them. These are some tips that may help you with interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, what I have presented here can make or break you. Surely there will come a time that you have to interview for something, maybe a senior position. What we have learned here, if you don't already know them, can be the stuff that actually lands the job for you. So take it seriously. Thank you very much. I hope this helps. And my apologies for the initial technical hiccup, but we'll be able to do it within reasonable time. So thank you, David. Hand over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Alf, I wish you can take this session for me. I'm having some technical challenges and I can't handle it. Let me work on it. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, Alf, so anybody with this point of clarification?
Does anyone have any contributions, questions, clarifications? To tell the truth, I'd be surprised if you didn't, because honestly, job interviews, as Prof said at the very beginning, even CEOs struggle with them. And I know even through my career, which has been vast and long, over 4 decades, every time I go for an interview, I have to really, really prepare. And even when I prepare, as Prof says, you're still a bit nervous before, no matter how confident you are. And I've had interviews with space agencies, let's put it that way. So does anyone have some points of clarification, want some more explanation on a particular topic that has been spoken about? because honestly, you will go online and you'll be pulled from pillar to post. You will not get it as concentrated and as direct as Prof. PK has just delivered it. It's there. He has the experience around the world, not only in Ghana, in the UK, in India, in the United States, at universities, at high-level businesses. He knows his stuff, and he's giving it to you on a platter. It's your opportunity to ask you questions. Any questions or clarifications?
Yes, Alf.
David, you want to ask the question?
Yes, the challenge I'm having is just that I'm having hearing duplicate voices, and so it's difficult for me to know what time like my session is ending and stuff like that. But let me just ask this question just to let our followers know that we are live on YouTube and also on Facebook, and also on you can follow us on TikTok as well. Prof, I have a question for you. I know you've dealt with it partially, but then I felt like, more light can be thrown in that area for us to understand, because if care is not taken, I will see myself in an interviewing room and then will feel like I also have to ask questions back. Why? Because certain questions are thrown to you and you might felt like this question is not worth asking and why are they asking it? And so your reaction to those type of questions can actually trigger something. So my question is this. Is it always proper? Is it appropriate that you attending the interview should ask question?
No, you don't ask questions until they ask you or give you the opportunity. The question is from them. They are the ones employing you. It's usually very courteous at the very end, to say, thank you for the interview. Thank you for coming. Do you have any questions you also want to ask us, so that it will be clarification for you, to help you? Maybe you've got something in your mind that, not clear, you want us to help you with. So you don't have the right to ask questions at all until such time that they say, do you have anything to ask to us? If they don't bring that, you don't ask questions.
And just to add to what Prof just said, if you haven't discussed, Prof brought the salaries and stuff like that in, one of the things that you do not ask on a first interview is, what is the salary? After you've gone through all your questions and you've given your answers, and you do not ask the question, why? How much are you going to pay me? It's a no-no. You do not do that, because it means all the good work you've done during the interview tells you that you're only here for the money, and they don't want you there for the money. Another thing that I will add is that when you're answering your questions, try and put a story together before you go for the interview. Understand who the company is, as Prof says. Understand why you want to work for that company, as Prof says. Understand what your contribution to that company, or what you think your contribution to that company is. And therefore, when you see Prof's list of points that he's made in terms of being prepared for an interview, run it as a story. Write your story before you go into the interview, so that when you're asked, why do you want this? Who are you? You turn your who are you question into a part of the answer to the question. I'll give you a real life example. When I was going to work for the European Space Agency, they asked me, so why do you want to work? First, they asked me UMETSAT. Why do you want to work here? No. It wasn't why you're going to work there. The question was, tell me about yourself, which is your number one question. And the question is, they don't want to know who your mother is. They don't want to know who your father is. They don't know who your brother is. They don't care. It's an icebreaker, but use that icebreaker to tell them about your history in professional history before getting there and why you want to this job. Therefore, when you tell that story, write a 2-3 minutes self story about yourself, biography about yourself, autobiography about yourself for that particular job. And then when you're explaining your other questions, you can refer back to that story. Like when I said, when you asked me this question, this is why I want to do this. Like, for instance, I'll give you the example. When I was asked, I told them about my story about sonar and submarines and changing a $400 million deficit into a £200 million profit, right? Using systems engineering and stuff like that, right? Systems engineering and things like that. So when it came down to asking me some other questions, okay, the systems engineering, requirements management, that's what I used. If you remember, I told you a story about I told you about how I changed the 400 million pound debt into a 200 million pound profit using requirements management and verification requirements and running it with the contractor and the Ministry of Defense and all that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of process that I use and need to implement. So you can see where you can link the stories together. So you link the answers together, and you don't have to explain yourself 3 times over because you took the first 2, 3 to 5 minutes to explain a particular story, which you weave into your answers for the rest of them.
Okay.
The question about weaknesses.
I think Adelaide has had a hand up for a long time. So
excellent. I can't see any hands up.
Yeah, Adelaide.
Okay, Adelaide, please.
Unmute yourself and let's hear you. I'm seeing
Yeah,
one.
please. Adelaide.
Adelaide, are you there?
Are you there? Ask to unmute. Please unmute.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear you.
Okay. Thank you very
no,
much.
you have to give her access to.
I've done that.
Coming.
I've done that.
Okay, all right.
And then after that, there is Magdan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can I talk?
Yes, please. Adelaide, go
on. Okay. Mine is a little addition to the good presentation Prof has done.
Okay.
Apart from people engaging you for the skill you are coming with, attitude also plays a key role. And under which we can capture the dressing he mentioned. If for any reason you are going for an interview, you should be in your best. That even shows the importance you are adding to the company's invitation.
Great.
Somebody on the panel's duty is only to be assessing your temperament. And someone can be tasked to be asking annoying questions.
Yeah.
But they want to see how you compose yourself and handle this annoyance being thrown at you.
Brilliant, Adelaide. Brilliant. Yes.
Some also even use food to interview you, to test your level of greed. You know, people go for a buffet and fill their plate and waste the food. How are you coming to handle company resources if you have the opportunity?
Right.
They have a lot of tricks. I attended an interview. It was only about how you dress. We were conveyed in a bus from one point to another. How smart you move around and all that was assessed. So attitude also plays a key role when you are getting on board a new environment as far as job is concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Adelaide, for this. Thank you. Right. It was Magdan. Magdan got his hand. Unmute yourself, Magdan, and let's hear you. Adelaide, thank you very much. That's very good.
Magdan, please.
Please, yeah.
Magdan?
Yeah, please, can I be heard?
Yeah, you've got your hand up.
You're faint. You're faint. If you can speak louder, that would be good.
Hello.
Can you speak louder?
Please, can you hear me?
It's very faint.
Hello.
Yes. Madam,
Hello?
can you make
Yeah,
it
that's
louder?
better. That's better.
Yeah, please,
That's
can
better.
you hear me?
Yes, that's
Yes,
better.
yes,
Better.
better. Go on.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for the information. One question is concerning the salary question
Yeah.
being asked by the panel. And you made mention of you have to do some research.
Yeah.
Is it okay that part of your research should be maybe getting information from an insider of the company to know what the salary structure is before the interview?
Well, you want information, and you are saying, if that's where you get information about what they pay, you are not, this is not espionage, I say, you are not going to look for information which you use against the company. So there may not be any moral stuff here. You just want an idea of what they pay, and somebody is in there and say, we pay around. Yeah, I suppose so. Industrial espionage is where you actually dig into a company to use information against them or to compete with them. That's unethical. But
Okay.
having an idea of salary from, I don't think that would be too bad.
But just be careful that
yes,
you don't name
hear
drop.
of it, or you've lost the job.
You drop somebody's name.
They hear of it, you've lost the job. So
yeah, because you might lose the job, and the person also might lose their job based on the fact that you have asked.
Yeah, they told you about it.
They told you something that every company has its policy on salaries and what is known to whom and where and what range, etc. So yes, you can ask and find out what your range of salary should be. Personally, I answer that question with the going rates on the on the internet, on the for the job of my this thing. I'm on this at the moment, and this is the going rate that I understand is on the Prof has given some websites to look at for your kind of skill sets. Check it out and take the widest range possible, and ask about, you can ask about benefits and all those kind of stuff, so that you can, I mean, so those would tend to boost your salaries. Anybody else?
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Magdan, are you done?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think Magdan has to mute. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Alf.
Yep.
Excellent. So I have my second question I want to ask Prof, and probably maybe you or Prof can answer that question. What happens if someone who is not eloquent, eloquent in the sense that you cannot express yourself much, is attending an interview, but on that very job, in terms of performer, you'll be able to perform? What are the assessment for you, the one interviewing this particular candidate? How will you be able to assess this person who is not able to express him or herself, but can do the job?
Yes, there are many disabled people who can do jobs. Like a person may not be able to speak, dumb, but they are first-class typists. You put a thing there in front of them, they look at it, they can type. So you're looking for a typist. In fact, for many companies, there's a quota for disabled people. There's a quota, So if you present your disability to the interview panel, if it's a disability, but if you say you're not very eloquent, I don't think they will take it. They want to hear you. They want to express you to express yourself. The job you are going to do will entail going to talk to customers and so forth and so on. So if you say you are not eloquent, then you don't fit the job. But if it's a disability, then you should let them know, because they may even have quota for disabled people for certain types of jobs. If you can't speak, they will not give you a customer service job, because that involves talking to people.
Or communications
yes,
manager.
So if there is some problem that they need to know, let them know that I have this shortfall. Let them know. Because if you go and sit there, they ask you a question, you can't make a case, you can't tell them that you're able to do it, you are competent and you did it here, you'll be able to do that. You can't tell them. How will they know that you'll be able to do the job? The reason for the interview is that they want to see you, they want to chat with you, they want you to convince them, and you are saying, but I can't convince you. Then that's a lost job.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Alf, there, Arnold has his hands up. Yes.
Please unmute.
Please, thank you.
We'll come again. Yeah.
Please, can I get that?
Please. Yep. Carry on.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof, for such an insight. But the question I wanted to ask was, suppose you are asked a question, and let's say there is a particular word in the question that makes it ambiguous, and you answering it can, the word is like can contradict like the whole everything you are saying. In such a case, can you ask the panel that if they could define that word in that particular context they are referring it to? I don't know if my question.
Arnold, if they ask you anything, it's not clear, because if you don't understand it well, surely you can't give a good answer. And they want you to understand their question so that you can give them a good, convincing answer. They want to hire you, just that they've got alternatives. So if it's not clear, in a very nice way, ask for it to be repeated, or you can then rephrase it and say, do you mean this? Do you mean this? The way you understand it. They will say, yes, that's what we mean. Or no, we don't mean that, we rather mean that. Then they will say it differently. So if it's not clear, ask for clarification. Don't try to answer when you are not very sure what they've asked you, please.
Prof said don't ask questions. That is true unless your question is not clear, and then I can ask for clarification.
Yes, clarification, yeah.
Clarification questions are not defined as questions. It's because they're there not to waste your time, and they're not definitely there not to waste your time. And they may be even asking an ambiguous question to see whether you would ask for clarification.
Yes.
Because sometimes you are talking to clients and it is not clear. Are you good with that answer, Arnold?
Arnold, are you happy?
Yeah, okay, good. Thumbs up.
Okay, Adelaide,
okay. Adelaide, please.
Thank you very much. This is added on to the answer Prof gave to David's question about your inability to be eloquent to express yourself. To add to what Prof said, that you should inform them ahead of time, it depends on the organization. If there is the possibility of you going along with a portfolio as a proof of your work, it can also bail you out. And that could even open an avenue for you to be fitted in a place where you wouldn't have to be at customer service and be talking all the time if you are not that fluent. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Adelaide. That's a good one.
Anyone else? Some questions, some listening in the chat. What's the chat? Please, you have a question. Michelle Archangel Abaka. Where are you? Are you going to ask the question in voice, or are you going to ask the question in? Can you please unmute if you're going to ask it verbally?
And there's a coffee with hands up.
Archangel, Michelle, Michael. I don't know. I'm not sure what. Nope. Okay.
There is coffee. Coffee.
Nahar Kofi.
Yeah. Let's hear you.
Yes, Prof.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Prof.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Please carry on.
Thank you I want to thank everyone for this opportunity given. So I wanted to know if in case of an interview and the person who is interviewing you, the panel who are interviewing you, like started throwing the questions, like first person asked the question and you are about to answer the person, then another interviewer comes up with a different question. So in this case, what are we supposed to do?
Then they will be creating confusion. I don't think the panel, one will ask a question as you start to answer, then another one will ask. That will be, I don't think interview panels work like that. Well, they'll be confusing you. So do you stop, the first one and go to the second one? Kofi, doesn't usually happen like that, one at a time. They do.
I totally concur with Prof. Panels are organized. You have key people from various different departments, from HR to your professional lead, that will have key questions that they are going to ask you. They may ask you to clarify something that's in your answer, but generally, just like they could ask you an ambiguous question, you may be giving an ambiguous answer and they may ask for clarification on it. But generally, panels are, or at least professional panels, are very well organized, and that would not happen.
All right, I think
yes. Okay, go ahead, Prof.
Yes.
But I just want to add to the explanation Prof and Alf has given. Earlier on, Adlet said something. He said among the panelists, they can set up somebody who can intentionally provoke you just for them to test your character. So you might not know among what the panelists, you don't know what their plans are and what their intentions are. You might think that, oh, okay, that is a confusion among them, but they're just using that to test your character, the way you conduct yourself and handle yourself before them, even if you found them in that situation. And I will say this, one of my workers at a time, I allowed into my office when I was having conversation with one of my international partners. And so he was present when I was talking, and so he listened to the conversation. I cannot tell how he understood that conversation, but that conversation was miscommunicated to other workers. But I got to know about it. And so in this case, for instance, you the one over there, right there in the presence of where this thing is happening, you might think it is confusion among them, but it is not confusion among them, but it is just something to test who you are, how you manage information even, and how you will conduct yourself in case there is friction between your managers or your leaders. How will you be able to conduct and handle yourself among these people? So there are so many ways that they can present themselves, and you might think that it is coming from the other side, but it is deliberate thing just to know who you are, how you manage information, and how you conduct yourself when you find yourself in a situations like that. So just to add this also to it. Okay, so Alf and Prof.
Yeah.
Prof is tired, and I think you've given us a lot of your time.
I've got another.
Prof want to rest, Prof of all people, so. Well, we are 22 minutes into the time.
Yeah, we've gone beyond time. It's more than 9.
Yes, we have, yes. Okay, so well, I'm not using my real laptop. I have to connect on my phone, but we want to thank everybody who made time to be with us this evening. It has been a wonderful sessions, and my advice to all the students connecting with us tonight, either you have already completed or you are yet to do so. This is a vital information shared this evening to guide you as to what you're looking forward to, attending interviews for jobs and all things like that. Prof is an expert, as he said, travel all over the world, conducting training for senior managers, junior managers, And there is nothing that, he doesn't know when it comes to interviews and stuff like that, because he is the one who trains them. So you have this free of charge. I believe that what has been shared tonight, we are going home with something, because next week, what we did today, we will do it again. That is what is guiding us to know we are not wasting our time here, but actually we are pouring into people who are ready and willing to learn. So next week, same time, we will be here again with a different topic. So we'll share the topic within the week for everybody to follow. But until then, follow us on our Facebook page at David Ddouglas Leadership Forum, our YouTube page also at David Ddouglas Leadership Forum, TikTok at David Ddouglas Leadership Forum. Have a fruitful week. May the Lord go ahead of you, prepare you, and deliver you from any plans of the enemies. Until we meet again, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your geographical location.
Thank you very much, Prof, for your time, for your efforts, for your excellent presentation and putting it all together for us. Greatly appreciated and very well done.
Thank you very much. Okay, good night, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever. Right, see you again, God willing, next week. Bye-bye now. Bye.
Bye, God bless.
Bye. Alf, thank you very much.
No problem.
Yes. It has been challenging this evening. I don't know.
Sorry, Miss Boy. I saw your hand up, but we're out of time. Am I recording this? Oops. David, I recorded to the internet, so it's probably recording to your cloud. So the rest of it is recording to your cloud. So.
Oh, okay. I also record onto my computer as well.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I was just saying it said recording stopped. So when it said recording stopped, then I recorded it to the. I just said record to the cloud. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll leave it up to you to sort it out.
All right then, my brother.
Okay.
Thank you, the host again. Give the host right back to me. Let me stop the YouTube. I don't forget to
okay. Then I recorded it to the. I just set the call to the cloud. So I'll leave it up to you to sort it.
So if you can hear, is that you are done talking, but your voice keeps playing again on the background.
Who, me? That's probably because you are doing it on two computers or two devices, and one is looping into the other.
Well, I'm just using one laptop, so I wonder how the whole thing.
But your host and your David Ddouglas, and the one